Okay, so this is the basic UI screen here. You start off in the wasteland. If we head north here, this is Karnak Way Station. But let's take a look at some of the aspects of the game. So on the top right here, if you click this or press A, we'll load up the chart, which will give you a world map. This is an absolutely huge world that you have to explore, with major cities all over. And as you learn more about the world, more destinations, more places of interest will pop up on the map. So right now we only know about a couple major cities and a couple areas, but soon we'll see lots of settlements and mining outposts that dot the world. So anytime you want to bring up the chart, just press A. Alright. The next thing we're going to look at is the Codex. So on the right here, if you press X or you click it, it's going to bring up all the information of the world and explain what all the different things are. The bros is a type of money that's spent in the world, so there's a lot of interesting terms and things that you'll discover as you play. So the Codex will help you keep track of all that information, and as you discover more information, it will fill up the Codex. So it's a great way of just keeping track of the information that you have and new information that you discover. Next, we're going to cover the journal here. So the journal's going to give you a quick snapshot of events that you encounter and things that happen to your party. For example, it's going to let you know what day it is and things that have happened, like you've been awarded some insight for discovering the Southern Jagged Waste. And then the next thing we're going to take a look at is our actual Vagrus. So if you press V or click in the bottom left corner here, it's going to bring up your character. So what your race is, in this case we're playing a human imperial. What your calling is, currently we're playing a trader, which I think is good for new players. And then our background is adventurer, which gives us some nice bonuses. And our ambition right now is set to free play. There's going to be some more ambitions that open up later in the game's development, but currently this is what there is. And then on the screen you're going to see the list of attributes that you have, including things like charisma, so you can inspire devotion and earn trust with either party companions or people you meet in the game. And what these allow you to do is during different events, you're going to have a better chance of succeeding in those events, and also playing through the game, you're going to be able to encounter things that you otherwise wouldn't have if you don't have things like magic sense, for example. The next thing we're going to look at are the different factions. So because of our character build, we started off with a little bit of faction rep with the House Vernay. And as you do different trade with these houses, you're going to end up with more faction reputation. And faction reputation is important because as you boost your reputation with the factions, you're going to have access to better trade opportunities and better missions, and it's going to really help your effort as you advance through the game. So that's pretty much everything that's on this screen. And next we're going to jump into the journal. The journal is great for keeping track of your quests that you currently have going. For example, we have the pawnbroker quest. So before the end of this tutorial, we're going to complete this quest. And after talking to the old wanderer, we learned that Braxis has a shop in the market district in Torzak's shelter, and we're going to go there and we're going to continue the quest line and talk to Braxis. So you're probably wondering, where the heck is Torzak's shelter? When you go back into the chart, we can see that north along the road here, that's going to lead us to Torzak's shelter. So that's going to be our first destination. All right. The next screen we want to take a look at is in the top left corner. We're going to just click that, and it's going to give our crew stats. So this is going to show us what's happening with our comitatus, which is basically a caravan. and it shows the current morale of our crew, as well as how submissive our slaves are. Currently, we have 6 slaves. Slaves are good because they don't consume, well, they consume less food and they don't cost you upkeep. But having slaves might not be a good thing if you want to build reputation with certain factions, or you want to have certain companions. Nutrition is how well fed your caravan is, so you want to build up supply and use that as you're exploring. And the next thing is vigor, so how well rested your group is, how refreshed they are. And you can also get little bonuses. So right now I have enough guards, but I'm a little short, so I actually need I'm only partially defended right now because I'm in this camp. Upkeep is going to show here, so our accrued debt that's owed to the crew, our total. So the accrued is going to be the sum total of all the debt that you owe to your fighters that you've hired and your scouts and your different companions, and then your daily total is your complete total. Consumption is how much food everybody's going to eat. So right now my total daily is 55, and this is going to show the consumption for each of the different units in my caravan. So my fighters are going to consume 10. So you're going to want to have enough supply to feed all your guys. So currently I have 9 days of supply. So my 498 supply is going to last my caravan 9 days. So I can only travel 9 days distance without starving. So this is a really important aspect of the game, is caravan management and keeping track of how far you can travel. All right. The next thing we're going to look at in town is the equipment. So I'm going to leave this screen and we're going to go to Kurnak Way Station. We're going to take a look at some of the other elements of the game's basics. Okay, we're going to enter the gate, we're going to comply quietly, and it's time to explore Kurnak Way Station. So the first thing you'll see is stories. Stories are where you're going to interact with and learn more about different events that happen. So if I click here in the guarded compound, you can see that I have some options. So I can eat and drink with the travelers, and as you do, you learn new things about the world and new places that you can explore. And these are going to pop up on the map as you discover them. So right now is we're going to get a quest, so I'm going to talk to some of the agents of the factions, and we're going to see if we can pick up a trade deal. So you have a couple different factions that you can work with. We're going to start off with just picking up a trade deal with the trading house, and we're going to make a deal with their agents. So we got to make sure we keep 1 empty cargo slot and probably pick up some extra supplies so we can feed all of them. There we go. And then we can move on. Now we're going to visit the marketplace. So there's a lot of different trade goods that you can pick up and trade between the different towns, villages, and encampments throughout the world. And this is one of the main ways of making money in the game. So you want to find goods that you can buy cheaply in one place and sell for more money somewhere else. So I'm going to pick up 2 stacks of the wine. So I'm going to hold down shift and click, and that's going to buy a stack of 25 wine. Then I'm going to buy another stack with my remaining money. All right, and I think we have enough supplies. Yeah. The next thing we're going to look at is equipment. So you can add different equipment at different places. Unfortunately, Kurnak Way Station doesn't have other equipment you can buy, so we're going to take a look at different types of equipment once we get to Torzak's shelter. So having extra storage is really good. This gives us plus 10 to cargo capacity. So this is a great item to equip onto your caravan. The next screen we're going to look at is the Masio. So the Masio is where you go to hire extra crew members. We could buy, I think we're going to buy an extra fighter. Yeah, That should be good. And then I think we have enough of everything else. You can also buy extra mounts as well as beasts of burden. Beasts of burden are huge creatures that can carry lots of cargo. That's going to add an extra 80 cargo. And then you can also buy rumors. Trading and exchanging news and rumors is a great way to learn more about the world, as well as you can make a little bit of money. And then you can pick up passengers. So there's some travelers that have been turned back from the south, and they're heading back to Torzak's shelter. So let's pick them up. That's going to be 6 people and 1 warrior. There we go. All right. And that's everything we're going to do at Kurnak Way Station right now. So let's go ahead and rest for the day. And resting inside a town is going to give you different bonuses. In this case, we're just sleeping on the stable floor, so it's only going to give us +1 vigor, but it's better than sleeping outside. And we're going to have our guys perform an odd job. Odd jobs are tasks that you can give your crew while they're in the town to make you a couple extra bucks. So that might be things like helping out the local blacksmith or different tasks like that. And unfortunately our odd job failed, so we lost some vigor, but we did make a little bit of money. So not the worst case scenario. Alright, let's go ahead and leave the settlement. And we're going to load up the cargo and passengers. That's why we left 1 cargo slot. And let's go ahead and leave. It's usually best to travel along the road, unless you're going to be doing some hunting or foraging. In a later tutorial, I'm going to be showing how hunting and foraging works. Alright, let's go ahead and end for the day. Looks like we don't have enough guards, so that was a bit of a mistake. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so I'm short 2 guards, so it gives me the poorly defended bonus. So I actually want to go back and hire 2 more guards before heading to Torzak's shelter. So let's actually go back. So we're going to let the people drink while the wheel is being repaired, and that just lost us some movement, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and force march to get to the town. Alright. So we're going to hire 2 more fighters. We definitely have enough workers. Everything looks good. We're going to rest for the day. Perfect. Alright, let's go and head back north. So now we only have 3 days of supplies. If we take a look at the map, you can see we're about halfway between Kurnak Way Station and Torzak's shelter. So should be only 2 more days of travel, so we should be okay. And that's the end of this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to show off more in the next tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you.